Hello everyone, this is Carol. Now I'm going to teach you 5 useful Taiwanese words that will allow you to travel smoothly in this country full of delicious street food which is affordable. So before we proceed into the direct teaching, I want to teach you all some basic knowledge about the Chinese language itself. This is the intonation. So different than English, which has no emphasis on intonation, the Chinese language, especially spoken language, relies heavily on intonation. So even let's say 2 characters have the same pronunciation, have the same pinyin, but if the intonations are different, then it has totally different meanings. What do I mean by that? Let's see a practical example. Let's take the character ma as an example. M-A, ma. If you pronounce it as a third tone, ma, it means horse. But if you pronounce it as a fourth tone, ma, then it means a verb, to curse, to condemn, or to blame, which is a totally different meaning from horse, right? So you will want to get the intonation right. So in the Chinese language, there are 4 intonations as shown in the diagram here. These letters pronounce the level of pitch, where DO is the low pitch and SOL as a high pitch. What it means is that the 4 intonations will cross different levels of pitches. So the first intonation starts off high and is a flat tone. It remains in a high pitch. Let's take the previous example, MA, the character MA. If we pronounce it in the first intonation, it's ma, a very high and flat pronunciation. Ma, ma. And the second tone starts off from the middle and it ascends all the way to the highest pitch. It's an ascending tone. So for the second tone, it will be ma, ma, where your voice goes up, ma. And as for the third tone, it is personally, I think, the hardest one to pronounce because you really gotta use your throat muscle tightly because it starts all the way from the bottom and then you suppress it and then you bounce it back to sort of the medium high pitch. The third tone will sound something like ma, 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 where you lower and press your voice down and then bounce it back up, ma. And then the fourth tone, which is very easy compared to the third tone. It's a descending tone all the way from the highest pitch to the lowest pitch. In this case, it will be ma, ma, where the tone descends from the high point to the lowest point. The reason why I want you to know intonation is because for the Chinese pronunciation, I labeled the number of intonations here. Oops, sorry. So by getting the intonation right, you can actually pronounce Chinese phrases like a native person. And I think that's going to be a very cool thing when you're learning a language. So it doesn't hurt to learn intonation at the start. Okay, now let's get the 5 phrases going. The first phrase I'm going to teach you is hello, which is a universal greeting, really, in all countries. And this is the simplest term you can find in Chinese language. Hello in Chinese is just 你好. 你好. Ni is second tone, so it slightly goes up. Hao is the hard third tone where you gotta press your voice down a little bit and then bounce it up again. Hao, third tone. 你好. Hello. And the second term I'm going to introduce to you is thank you, which is also a universal language learning term. You can say it in 2 ways. Both conveys the meaning of thanks, but in different levels of formality and sincerity. So, 谢谢, the shorter term 谢谢 here means thanks in English, whereas the second term 谢谢你 means thank you. Notice in the previous term, we also seen this character 你, right? 你. Here it also appears again, 你. And this character means in Chinese second person pronoun, you. And just like English, thank you is more formal and more sincere than thanks. And this is also the same in Chinese. When you want to express your thanks to someone in a formal setting, you should say 谢谢你. When you're just expressing it to your friends, you can just be casual and say 谢谢. The third term is sorry. It's pronounced as 对不起. This is an apology term. If you say accidentally bump into someone and you say 对不起, the others will usually take your apology very easily. The fourth term is excuse me. It's pronounced as 不好意思. 不, fourth tone, 好, third tone, 意, fourth tone again, 思, the flat first tone. It's the Chinese term for excuse me. You can use it in two kinds of occasions. First, let's say when you want to pass by people or get off from a very crowded bus, you can say 不好意思. Just like how you would say in English, excuse me. And when other people hear it, they'll definitely make way for you to pass. 不好意思. And the second occasion is that you can use when you're ordering a meal or asking something in a very polite way. So in English, we might say, excuse me, I would like to order something, something, something. In Chinese, it is also the same. You proceed by 不好意思, and then say out your order out loud. And here comes the last tone. Well, actually, it's more like a sentence, because I think as tourists, finding toilet is a crucial and important concern when you're in a tourist area. So here it is. The word for toilet is 厕所, where 厕 is the fourth tone, 厕, and 所 is the third tone. And when you want to ask where is the toilet in a very polite way, you can say the following sentence. Sorry, where is the toilet? Sorry could be translated or interpreted as 请问 in Chinese, as labeled in blue. Where is the toilet? Where corresponds to 哪里. Toilet is just 厕所. So you may notice that the sentence structure for English and Chinese is very different. Well, it has to do with the grammatical aspect of the two languages. But basically, if you say 请问厕所在哪里, the others will 100% understand your question and they will point out to you where the toilet is. So this is an important sentence to learn when you want to travel around Taiwan. Honestly, very important. Thank you so much for listening to my lengthy language lesson. I know this is way longer than the other lessons posted on Facebook, but I really want you guys to grasp a solid foundation to the Chinese language, and I really hope you enjoy it.